What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to News for the Sonics, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And here to talk to you about more Spider-Man 2 hands-on reports, gameplay details, symbiote powers, combat, PS5 features, and more. And this is coming straight from the PlayStation blog, so we're going to get right into it in just a sec. But before I do that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. Check out my social media, which you can find the links to down in the description box below, including my Discord. Definitely check me out there if you want to see me in other platforms as well, besides YouTube. If you don't really want to support me on YouTube, but you want to see other content that I make, then definitely follow me on social media like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and more. So let's go ahead and talk about this report on the PlayStation blog, and it's quite the doozy because it is a lengthy one. So, plus the additional insight from Insomniac Games on the game's mission and story, this past week has been a good one for Spidey fans, with just over a month until Marvel Spider-Man 2 swings onto the PS5 console. Total understatement, by the way. I think we've been served a plethora of Spider-Man 2 goodness. We're getting a clearer idea of what we can expect come October 20th. Insomniac Games has given us a closer look at the superhero and supervillains cast with the new character posters. Little under 24 hours ago, we enjoyed a tour of the expanded Marvel Spider-Man New York and a look at new suits at State of Play. And today, you can get a deeper dive into the game's combat, activities, story, and more, thanks to an exclusive hands-on we had with the preview build of the game, bolstered by further insight from key staff who worked on the project: Senior Creative Director Brian Intihar, Senior Game Director Ryan Smith, and Senior Narrative Director John Paquette. This extended slice of gameplay took place some way through the story, a tense cutscene face-off between Kraven and the symbiote in case Spider-Man serving as an opener, and concluding where the gameplay reveal earlier this year began, between volatile science and experiments and community exhibition break-ins requiring a superheroic fists and smarts to solve, new activities to test web swings with web wings, and with crime to halt, tough boss battles to tackle, laughs to be had, and great character work to enjoy. In the days prior to the event, I fired up the previous games to retain my muscle memory and more accurately compare against what was to come. By the time I had to reluctantly set down my DualSense controller, initial impressions were overwhelmingly positive. Insomniac Games is firing on all cylinders with a superheroic sequel that's richer, denser, one that packs in a ton of heart, and here's why. So it looks like we're going to learn some more details about the story. Careful, I guess, for potential spoilers, but again, Insomniac posted all of these videos for a reason, and if they were any spoilers, Insomniac wouldn't be posting any new gameplay. So if you guys even think that this is considered spoilers, then you have the chance right now, literally 5 seconds, to click away from this video, because maybe some people want to go in blind, and I'll give you that. But honestly, everything that we're reading here, we don't know the full context of the story. I've never played the game personally, so I can't tell you. All I can do is just read the blog post and react to what other people have been saying about the game. And again, I'm really excited. So I guess it's safe to say, since it's on the PlayStation blog, it's not really a spoiler. So A Tale of Two Spiders. After being the focus of a game apiece, Peter Parker and Miles Morales have equal billing in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Outside main story beats to guide you to play one or the other. You're mostly free to quickly swap between them. The PS5 console's SSD zipping you nearly instantly to either Spidey at a press of a button, with the studio promising some fun character moments as perspectives shift. They share a chunk of side activities, spider gadgets, and base upgrade paths, but also have unique storylines, missions, and skill to unlock. Button layouts are identical, suit gadgets mapped to R1, unique skills to L1, 4 of either active at one time and activate in conjunction with a face button, and similar abilities means you never stuck relearning moves come a character switch. And I'm actually curious, this is my own question, after talking about the character switch, will you be able to complete Marvel Spider-Man 2 with one Spider-Man or the other if you decide to just stick with Miles or perhaps Peter? Do you really have to switch? I'm sure there are going to be moments when you have to switch to the other Spider-Man because the story requires you to do it. But let's say if I wanted to stick with Peter Parker Spider-Man, can I just stay as Peter Parker Spider-Man and never switch and play the entire game like that, only when the story requires me to change to Miles Morales? I'm kind of curious. I'm sure you you can, but I'm just kind of curious though. Evolved movesets with backstory. The game's revealed trailer had Peter utilize his 4 mechanized spider arms to defeat foes. What was just one of many customizable suit powers in the original Marvel Spider-Man is now, until the symbiote comes into play, his default loadout. For reasons that Insomniacs are tight-lipped about to say will be explained in the game. The same is true Miles' 2 distinct colorings for his bioelectric venom powers, also shown in the trailer and evident in my playthrough. Into our hints that this evolving power set plays into Miles' story arc. Both mechanical and electrical powers have their own skill tree. XP gradually unlocks AoE attacks, multi-foe launchers, and more. An early favorite is Spider Shock, Pete's mechanical spider arm stabbing directly forward with the speed and grace of arachnid they're based on, and firing off electrical cascade that fries anyone caught in its web. I'm delighted when I activate Wall Smash, reliving a moment from the gameplay reveal sequence firsthand as Peter balances on one hand and rapidly kicks a thug against the nearby wall with both feet. There's multitude of additional options to standard combat options as well, and the studio continues to incorporate learnings from its previous PS5 games like Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, with the DualSense controller communicating a wealth of situationally accurate feedback in its haptics, hinting at what it could feel like to wear and wield the black suit. It's going to be so intense, and I can almost feel like I'm going to be wearing the black suit when just pummeling my foes against the wall, beating them with my symbiote abilities. I'm going to feel really powerful, and I think the DualSense is really going to help with that. So crowd controlling spider gadgets. The iconic web shooters are still tactically sound to web up a single enemy with a rapid tap of R1. Their capacity is doubled to 12 slots and recharge quickly. I had 2 gadgets at my disposal in the one demo. One, Upshot, deploys a drone that peppers web shots at nearby enemies, knocking them into the air. Web Grabber was the firm favorite, though firing out webbing from all sides, then yanking anything attached back and rapidly, primed for an AoE strike takedown, and I mean anything, triggering the gadget during a back alley scrap with robbers pulled out not only criminals but a nearby sewer drain covers with launched into the group with the power and accuracy of a missile. Unexpected and hilarious. The Savage Symbiote, it's been a headline addition since announcement, and the hands-on did not shy away from letting me get to grips with the awesome powers of the black suit. Pete's already wearing it at the demo's beginning, and like his mechanical arms, it has its own skill tree, with a foursome of attacks already mapped and primed. Come my first scrap with a pack of Kraven's Hunters. As seen in the gameplay reveal, you can toss out tendrils that'll auto-grab and lift enemies in the vicinity before powerfully slamming them back into the earth. Symbiote Strike has the suit envelop Peter into a writhing mass that shoots forward, momentum and additional extruding spikes catapulting an enemy backwards, whereas Symbiote Punch is an all-powerful launcher leaving enemies stunned and airborne, ready for follow-up combos. The word that kept coming to mind during Peter's fights was brutal, with punchy audio, visual spectacle, and controller feedback working together to convey a powered-up Peter learning into his symbiote-assisted strengths. The suit's L3 plus R3 special symbiote surge is a savage, whirling, fast-paced grab and slam attack that lets you manually target and permanently ground enemies. Its debut comes at the climax of an escalating lab fight that closes out the demo's first story mission and leaves me open-mouthed. The demo offered a sample selection of side activities and incidental opportunities. Aside from this still being able to interact with civilians or snap photo ops, you can pick up spider bots, each paint job cutely emulating a specific Spider-Man suit from across the years, deploy web wings, and chase Talon drones, using their own slipstream to catch up, or discover reappropriated underground army crates. A quick tap of the analog stick will activate your visor to visually highlight nearby activities. Hunter's Bell. While I fully expect Insomniac to find new approaches and bring us unexpected surprises when it comes to the black suit, they're retaining a key element of its mythos. It's hypersensitive to sound. A tense church set cutscene that opens the demo not only spectacularly reveals and sells the former imperfection and communicates the unpleasantness far too well through DualSense controller's feedback, but also in a single encounter cements Kraven as the intriguing, self-assured presence Inter calls him unpredictable as he comes face to face with his adversary. Insomniac reminds me he's a relative anomaly in the Spider-Man food chain. He's not driven by revenge, nor has any entwined personal histories with the core Spider cast, but Cat pegs a key part of the personality is the need to find someone bigger, better, and stronger than him. He's an intriguing addition. Monsters and transformation. Now, this is the bit that gets really good. I actually watched Evan Falarka's video about this, talking about the PlayStation blog, and what's interesting is that if you really think about it, the original Marvel Spider-Man games, both Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales games, actually focus a lot on tech-based villains, and it was really grounded. It made the games feel that much more grounded at that point. And to have this one, an official sequel to those games, feature monsters like the Lizard and like Venom is really different. It makes this franchise even better and that much more different than the first games in the lineup. So the monsters and transformation, it also speaks to the thematic shift in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The majority of villains in the first two games, as well as Marvel Spider-Man, the City That Never Sleeps narrative, were tech-based. Insomniac have purposely leaned away from that for this sequel, looking to villains, to monsters that can offer something different both narratively and gameplay wise. Lizard and Venom are monstrosities that also tap into the theme of transformations. Even Mr. Negative, one villain making a return, embodies that not only in his own changes, but now he transformed Miles' life with the death of Miles' father, Jefferson Davis. And who better to tackle monsters than a hunter like Kraven? The Friendly Neighborhood Spider app makes a return. I didn't get to delve into it properly, but occasional on-screen pop-ups would alert me to crimes reported by those nearby. Hunted meet hunters. Any fear of being criminally overpowered against criminals are laid swiftly to rest in my multiple tussles with Kraven's hunters. These packs are consistently large in numbers, boasting multiple waves with a hellish diverse range of enemy types. Airborne, mechanized Talon drones while snipe from afar, while their four-legged counterparts emit large nullifying fields that lock out your skills until they're knocked out, and surprise, they explode shortly after being drowned. Explosives are also practiced by certain human hunters who launch multi-ground mines or poisonous grenades from afar, while others shoot electrified nets or blanket the area overhead with an electrified field. Add to this shield carriers, gunners, and those that like to launch at you with twin daggers, and your work is cut out. There's this distinct sense of escalation and a richer palette of enemy encounters here. Parry, dodging fists, bullets, claws, and more is still a tingle of the spider sense and circle press away. But now Peter and Miles have the option to parry those particular attacks denoted by a yellow circle turning red around an advancing enemy, tapping L1 correctly, repelling them. The demo tested my timing in a mini boss encounter, a brutish hunter wielding an axe near the end of the lab fight. The parry stagger providing the quickest way to defeat him. Some attacks cannot be parried, requiring quick moves to escape their reach. Web wings, a quick way to soar across the low rise areas, rivers, and Central Park. A tap of triangle in the air will deploy your web wings, letting you dip and soar with the left stick. Chain these with swings and wind tunnels strategically placed around the city to get your next objective quick, for just enjoy some aerial maneuver combos. Harry and friendship circles. Story spoilers territory here, so if you'd rather go into the game's narratives arc blind, skip to the next part of the video at least. Our heroes don't only have to juggle escalating crime circles or sprees, but also the complexities of fresh friendships and familiar faces meetings. The game is set 9 months after the events of Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. In the world of Marvel Spider-Man, Harry Osborn is Peter's best friend since high school. They're as close as brothers, bonded over a love of environmental science, absent for a while to friends traveling Europe, in truth isolated from the world by an unknown disease. The preview reveals that the new equilibrium of their friendship, Harry knows Peter is Spider-Man and knows Miles is as well. Peter has the black suit and they're trying to find a possible cure for Harry's illness. The studio's playing into the awkwardness of overlapping friendships and mutual connections, be it teased in the recent story trailer or sharply thrown focus through a stilted call between Harry and Miles while the latter is swinging above the city. Puzzles, positions, and gizmos. As mentioned at the preview's start, Peter and Miles need to use smarts as well as fists. An early puzzle has me cleansing a DNA strand by zapping corrupt atoms without damaging healthy ones. Shortly after, I'm crawling inside a mammoth particle accelerator and resetting a misaligned magnets, carefully pulling my DualSense controllers, adaptive triggers to align correctly on a different pressure point each. Much later, as Miles, I'm controlling a spider bot through vent shafts and distracting would-be robbers to reactivate security doors of a lockdown community exhibition. Such interactions offer a nice counterpoint to fists and traversal tricks. And J. Jonah Jameson, the unique voice of Skewed News, didn't make an appearance during during my preview time, but I couldn't help ask John Paquette about him, and given his new position as owner of the Daily Bugle, as teased at the end of the prequel comic, whether they intended to bring any nuance to the character. The answer was short and to the point. Fear not, true believers. Brushtop's signature bluster ain't going away anytime soon. And the spider quips. While there are maybe some darker themes to the game, there's tons of humor and funny remarks. During the lab sequence, there are even 3 or 4 moments that elicit a hearty laugh from me. But be it Harry quietly and rapidly intoning no black holes, no black holes, no black holes as he activates the particle accelerator, Pete whispering to an imposing axe-wielding and bearskin-wearing hunter, but I've no honey, before being slammed through a window. The Parker humor is represented in pitch perfect. That's actually kind of funny. That actually really had me laughing, since I actually did not read this article prior to recording this video, but I can imagine it. I'm actually kind of hearing it in my head right now. That's pretty funny. And a story with the heart, the voice cast is nailing their lines as gravitas demands. You can feel Craven's resolution in every word Jim Peary utters. Our brief hints at Tony Todd as Venom heard thus far in the trailers are hair-raising. In my preview time, a scene that sees Miles at his father's grave has the teenage uttering the words, "I'm Spider-Man. I can do everything myself." A beautiful subtle mix of strength, hope, and uncertainty in the line sold by Najee Jeter's delivery. I'm as much excited to see what's next for the characters behind the mask as for the unexpected twists and turns that happen while they're wearing them. And I'm really excited. Marvel Spider-Man 2 will launch on October 20th, only on PS5. I'm so excited to play this game. I cannot wait. Just reading everything from this blog has me that much more excited to play this game. And everything that we've been handed over, meaning like all of these new gameplay trailers and videos that Insomnia Games PlayStation has launched recently, it has us clamoring for more. But I don't want too much. But then again, it's always a welcome served dish. Definitely, we got handed a huge platter of Marvel Spider-Man 2 goodness, and I think we've learned plenty. And right now, at the time of this recording, with only just about 33 days left until the game launches, I'm really just getting kind of nervous and hyped up at the same exact time. You probably know the feeling anyways. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I know it was quite the lengthy video, but I really needed to talk about this, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and stay tuned for more Marvel Spider-Man 2 news for the time being. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.